Hey folks, this is a DF704. It's a Dongfeng, Chinese-made tractor. I wanted to put some information on the internet because there's a lot of information on smaller DF products. Lots of people in Canada and the States driving 254s up to like 454s, but not much information, just about none in North America for these larger ones. This is a 70 horsepower tractor. I just wanted someone to have, if you're looking at getting something like this, I wanted to have a bit of information so that you can make a bit more of an informed decision. We paid $27,000 for this one, Canadian, with the loader, not including the rear blade on the back. This is a front wheel assist, or a four-wheel drive actually. I'm not really sure what the difference is. They seem to be synonymous. And included the loader, self-leveling loader, with a set of bale forks. It also has a set of pallet forks, and it's got a 72-inch bucket. Right off the bat, I'm not a farmer. I'm not really a tractor guy, so I don't really know a whole bunch about them. But if you're in the same kind of acreage situation that we're in, I figured you might, maybe some people would appreciate knowing a bit more about these and make a better decision when they buy one, if they're going to buy one. From the outside, it's quite nice actually. We bought ours with a cab. You don't have to do that. Adds a bit to the price. Not a big deal though. If you're in any place that's going to have winter, I suggest get the cab. One of the things I really like about these DF tractors, and maybe all new tractors are like this, it's very easy to service. Now, you got a front end loader on, you're going to have a hard time with pretty much any tractor getting in to service it. This is a 4-cylinder diesel engine, direct injection obviously. It's got a heater on because we're in Alberta. If you have a diesel without a block heater, what you have is something you're not going to use in the winter time. Now, what DF also has is no glow plugs. Apparently, what they do have is what they call a fuel preheater. So you turn the key to the left and it heats a 12-volt heater in the intake manifold to preheat the air that's going into it. Right off the bat, we notice the loader, it's definitely not as strong as what we'd hoped for. It'll pick up my round bales. My round bales weigh approximately 1,300 pounds, but it won't tilt them. When it comes to tilting these forks down, it's got enough power to pick that front end of the tractor up about 4 feet, but to tilt the bale up, it won't do it. Of course, the reason is it's a small cylinder. Most of the bore that the hydraulic pressure is working against to give you some strength, when you're retracting the cylinder, most of that bore area is taken up by the ram. So you have very little actual surface area for the hydraulic pressure to work against. Standard on these tractors, you get 2 sets remote hydraulics, category 2 3-point hitch, and a dual speed PTO, that's 540 and 1000 RPM. Of course, a swinging drawbar is pretty much normal. I guess, you know, that's probably normal on pretty much every tractor you get. One of the things I like, and this is probably normal too, but my old tractor didn't have it, is this thing here for storing the top linkage on your 3-point hitch. 3-point hitch, when you have the implement disconnected, you can leave the top bar attached and just gets held in that little latch there. All the windows open on this one, side windows, back window, and the doors are all window. This is 8-foot blade. It'll pull this thing with no trouble. We got it set into for dozing right now, and being 70 horsepower, I've never had a trouble dragging this thing anywhere. It's a little bit light for a 70 horsepower. It can't really make use of its own power. This thing has 2 sets of wheel weights on each side, so you get a total of about 440 pounds of extra weight. And I'm thinking probably want to put some fluid in these tires and get probably about another 500 pounds of weight back here, because it'll just sit there and spin tires. It can't make use of the horsepower that it's got in that regard. Hydraulics are good. I measured them at 2200 psi at 1500 RPM. We bumped that up at 2500 psi. I wanted to see if I could get these things to tilt a bale. Of course, by tilt I mean you could pick a bale up, but it won't rock it like that. It's just too heavy. It'll do it about 1,000 pounds. With this loader, this is a LDF 654. So it'll tilt about 1,000 pounds, but anything more than that, and it's really not going to do it. One of the things you have to appreciate when you're going to buy one of these tractors is you're getting what you pay for. You're not going to buy a Mercedes on a Geo Metro budget with these things. It was better than I expected for a Chinese product. Little things though. The headliner is just a little, basically a cheap piece of plastic. Doesn't fit the best. And as it gets warm, I'm guessing that's going to get even worse. You know, but you're not paying an extra $20,000 to buy a John Deere. It's a little bit cramped. Getting in from the other side is actually easier. Once you get in, you got a pretty nice instrument panel, all the basics, a couple switches. One thing that's peculiar with the, I haven't seen it before, is individual switches for the signal lights. It's got shuttle shift, so you go, your stick shift is here, 4 speeds. You got high, low, and medium range transmission, and then you just shuttle between whether you're going forward or backwards. That, again, took me a little bit of getting used to, but not much. It's got a hand throttle as well as a foot throttle. It's down here. Individual brakes, which are locked together right now, and it also has a pedal down here, so you can lock out the differential gear in the back. So you got the same power. You're not going to spin one tire. I have, and this is standard. This is for the 3-point hitch, elevation control or lift. Draft control, this one has a peculiar habit. If I have the thing down, my blade down, and it starts pulling hard, this draft control likes to start creeping forward. And then you go back to pick it up again, you got nothing until you bring your draft control back again. And then I got 2 levers, of course, for the hydraulic circuits in the back. Something you want to make sure or be advised of, this thing's got a very, very tight transmission. Particularly when it's cold, it can be almost impossible to get this thing into the gear you want. So if you're in third, you might just have to settle for third. Took me a long time to get this thing in the mid-range. I had high and low, no problem, but I couldn't get it in the mid-range. I talked to the dealer. He said, yeah, you know, once you break this thing, it loosens up a little bit. So we're just going to see how that plays out. Doors are good quality. They last good and solid. And one of the things I like, they got this bar here, so when you open the door, you can latch it on that bar, which keeps your door open about 6 inches or so. Get some breeze in here. Again, if we're talking about, let's call it Chinese quality, for lack of a better term, little things, these windows latch when you're closed, nice and solid. They're not going to come open, but when they're open, they don't have enough of a knob to get into the detent, so any little button will not stay open, basically. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. This one came standard with a stereo, and you can put an a card in there with some music on it, or a USB, so you can play your MP3s on it. Windshield wiper. It's got one wiper. That's the maximum extent of travel. A better system would have had like the self-leveling loader. Would have had 2 arms on there to keep that wiper horizontal, and you could have got a lot more travel out of it. So you're going to get a little cone you can look through, but it does the job. It's got a separate switch that runs this fan, which is my air conditioning unit, and then it's got this switch, which is the interior heater. So there's no temperature control, and it's just 2 speeds. It's on or it's off, 2 speeds, and the temperature you get is the temperature you get. Now it's about it was -20 this morning Celsius, somewhere between -8, -12 right now. This thing hasn't been plugged in, hasn't run for about 4 days. I gotta go try to move some bales, so we're gonna see if this thing will start. So clutch on. This is your shut off switch, kills fuel pump. Make sure that's in. Turn your key to the left for no more than 20 seconds. This is the interior, or the preheat in the manifold. Once that's good, we'll see if she'll fire up. Again, it's not been plugged in. So we got some smoke coming out of the pipe, so I know it's getting fuel, just not turning over fast enough to get her going, I guess. We'll try it again here, get the heater going. Might have to plug it in. Okay, we'll try her one more time, and then we're going to shut her down and do it the smart way. This is not a good thing to do with your tractor. I just wanted you guys to know what the situation was and what the likelihood was of this thing going at the temperature we have right now. So I guess we're going to plug it in, which, you know what, that's not a knock. I don't know that any other tractor would start if it's that cold and hasn't been plugged in for a while. So I just wanted to give it a shot and see. So we see how it goes.